Hey everyone! Last week we got a trailer for the third season of Visions, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a series of standalone Star Wars stories created by different anime studios that live outside of the canon, allowing the studios to take complete artistic liberty in what they do. Some are average at best, but others can be incredible, and stories that I would love to see developed further in a canon setting at some point. But normally I don't cover anything from Visions material since it's not canon, and it's hard for me to be able to tie it into anything else or really know what to say about it on a level that I feel like would be valuable for anyone. But this trailer actually stirred a pet peeve of mine that I do feel needs to be discussed. First off, the trailer begins a little awkwardly where there are about 6 seconds of footage where light music in the background involving a flute and strings. But then, as the Lucasfilms logo comes in, we hear this far more familiar E minor chord play in the full orchestra, and to me, it felt like this was completely unconnected. I'll admit, it sounds like someone made an attempt at a crescendo into the chord, but nothing from the first 6 seconds of this trailer returns or is referenced in any way later on, and it just felt awkward and disconnected, and therefore sloppy. But I was able to move on pretty quickly because as we return to different shots of vastly different visuals from each studio, the Force theme enters. Now, for being Star Wars but without a unifying theme or character, this felt like a very good choice. The unifying theme is Star Wars, and in that, the Force as well. We move on though after the first 2 phrases of the Force theme and instead into what reminded me a lot of Duel of the Fates, and I even thought I heard some short motifs directly from it as well. But overall, this did a good job of maintaining the driving energy as we see what will likely prove to be some really cool action sequences. But then, the music shifts again, and this is where it bothered me because what we actually hear next is Yoda's theme. Yoda, the Grand Master of the Jedi, and the little green dude that helps Luke on his path to becoming a Jedi Master. And you know who we don't actually see or hear in this trailer? Yoda. See, Leitmotif or Character Theme 101 dictates that we cannot use a character's theme unless they are being referenced or seen. The theme immediately draws our attention and thoughts to that character, and if we don't have any reference to that actual character in the film, well then that completely mitigates the impact of that theme. And here, there is nothing at all to suggest that we actually should be thinking about Yoda. And so it completely confuses the educated audience member that knows these themes and their direct connections to certain characters. And I've heard this plenty when I listen to the audiobooks, but I can understand and overlook it there because I don't expect anyone to create music specifically for audiobooks, although they did for the High Republic series, so good on them. But this is a trailer for a series of shows that already had composers working on them. It's a trailer that was obviously always intended to have music, and that should have meant that more care was actually put into the music. And quite frankly, the Force theme was fine here. Why not just stick with that and actually see it through? Now, maybe you feel like I'm making too big of a deal out of this, but I'm really not. See, imagine if you watched a scene where Dooku was all of a sudden using Darth Vader's blade to duel. It would make absolutely no sense to you, and it's probably all you'd be able to think about. Well, this is the musical version of that. This trailer took Yoda's music, associating itself with Yoda intentionally or not, and yet never showed or referenced Yoda beyond that, and I doubt Yoda would be in these Visions episodes. I cannot think of another instance in Star Wars where this has ever occurred, and it spits in the face of everything that John Williams crafted and worked so hard to create in a universe where every theme has meaning and context. This trailer did that just to give someone a small adrenaline rush that could have been created with something else had a musician with even moderate talent been working on the music for this and crafted something. But it continues a pattern of suggesting that nobody at Lucasfilm actually takes the music of Star Wars seriously, or understands or appreciates the subtle nuances of film composing, or how to properly use the musical themes they have. And every time they do this, they screw up the intentions of these themes, and they lessen the impact that they have for and saturate their actual meaning. This is why people now believe that the Force theme is for Luke Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker's theme is just for Star Wars. And the same can be said of the short and completely unnecessary use of Luke's theme at the end here as well. This is what I'm talking about. Although I understand how this theme has been essentially retconned now into the overall Star Wars theme since no one knows how else to use it, even though it's really a theme for Luke, but that was from a time before there was a plan for all of these other projects and no clear vision for how the music would need to evolve for them. But to me, this is always Luke Skywalker's theme, and using it should suggest something about Luke as well. Any other use is misrepresentation. Music is, or at least was, an integral part of Star Wars. George Lucas always understood that. George Lucas always respected that and worked with John Williams very intentionally and closely because of that. But now, nobody there seems to get this, and it saddens me every time I realize this for what was originally considered a space opera. But I would absolutely love to know what all of you think. Did anyone else hear Yoda's theme and wonder about this? Do you think I'm overreacting, or do you agree with me and my frustrations? What did you think of the first 6 seconds of this trailer too? That weird sort of moment in this trailer before we actually seem to get serious about what we're doing. And would you be interested in me actually covering Visions Season 3 when it comes out? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.